know when we're live, and then I'll start.
Okay.
Okay, looks like we're live on Facebook.
Yeah, we are.
Perfect. So, how's everyone doing? How are you doing, Rashid?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well. It was definitely a busy day. I have been just running around, but yeah, very productive day, I would say.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
yeah, what about you?
Well, yeah, it was busy day for me too. I was talking with our guest before a few minutes ago that I was in Prince Albert and I was coming back from Prince Albert to Saskatoon. The good thing is that the highways were clear and clean, so it was not that bad drive.
Perfect. So today, without any further ado, we'll start our show. And today we have a very exciting guest with us. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about who our guest is, and then we'll ask her to introduce herself. So today we have Uliana Bologna with us. She is a language service coordinator at UCC Saskatchewan, responsible for coordinating English for employment program as well as translation and interpretation services. She immigrated to Canada, particularly to Saskatchewan, together with her parents in spring of 2011. She always considered herself a humanitarian. Therefore, she pursued a degree in social work from the U of R and has a great interest in working in settlement and integration. She worked in various not-for-profit organizations in the past 8 years, started her current position with UCC Saskatchewan back in the summer of 2020. She's pleased to continue working in the settlement sector and helping newcomers to Saskatchewan with their needs. Welcome, Uliana.
Thank you. Hello, everyone who is watching us live on Facebook, all our listeners, if you are listening. It's a pleasure for me to be here today. So thank you for this opportunity. And I don't have anything else to add as Anita provided an excellent introduction. So I think we're just going to start with some questions.
Perfect. So starting off, tell us a little bit about the organization. What is UCC?
Yeah, so the UCC stands for the Ukrainian Canadian Congress of Saskatchewan. So UC Saskatchewan is actually a provincial cultural organization that provides programs and services for the Saskatchewan community to maintain, develop, and share its Ukrainian identity and aspirations. So we have a volunteer board of directors, as well as over 155 member organizations across Saskatchewan. UCC Saskatchewan engages in various programs such as settlement services, English for employment training, English language training, translation and interpretation services, volunteer recognition, various cultural developments, and historical and educational awareness, as well as intercultural networking.
Well, thanks, Soliana, and I am eager to learn more about UCC Saskatchewan as well. So tell us a little bit about English for an Employment program.
Right, and it's actually my purpose today is to spread the word about our E4E program, as we call it short. So our English for Employment program's objective is actually to help our newcomer clients adjust to the Canadian work environment while they're improving on their English language skills. Speaking more specifically, the E4E offers 72 instructional hours. It's a free, quality, and interactive English training to prepare a newcomer to the Saskatchewan labor for successful integration to the Saskatchewan labor labor market.
Well, it looks like a really good program, and when I posted that information, a lot of people were actually asking me about this program because this looks very attractive. And unfortunately, some people from outside Canada was asking me too. So I think this program is specific for only Saskatchewan people. Back to Anika. Anika, you want to ask next question?
Yeah. So tell us, Uliana, who can apply for this program?
Right. So we do have an eligibility criteria just because this program is funded through the Government of Saskatchewan, Ministry of Immigration and Career Training. Therefore, they do have specific requirements. So as long as you're a newcomer to Saskatchewan, you can apply and register for this program. With that said, a newcomer's definition is someone who is not born in Canada, but lived in Canada, and particularly in Saskatchewan, for less than 8 years. So that's one of the requirements. Another one is that the individual should be at least 18 years of age and older. It can be either a temporary resident with a valid work permit, or if it's a international student, they might be eligible to work in Canada. It can also be a permanent resident as well as a recent Canadian citizen. Another requirement would be for an individual who is either currently unemployed or maybe employed but part-time, or employed full-time but actually not practicing in their occupation, which they were foreignly trained. And finally, which is really important for us, is someone who is actually eager, to learn and who have goals of finding work, improving their language skills, meeting their employment needs. And lastly, we would require a person to be at CLB 5, so be proficient enough to understand the content of the course. If someone is not sure on their English level, they can get a placement test here in Saskatoon, or in, I guess, Regina. If you're from Regina, it's at Lark Center. They do provide online assessments. And if I usually provide interested people with that information. So.
Well, that's great. And actually, yeah, I was supposed to ask you, what is CLB 5 is. So you already covered that. And Lark Center.
Yeah, so Lark Language Assessment and Referral Center, they cover the whole province pretty much, and they do have online sessions for you to register and to get your CLB placement test. CLB stands for Canadian Language Benchmark. Okay,
great. And I think it looks like a really good program for newcomers and students and whoever wants to get, first-hand knowledge about Canada, as well as professional experience too. So that's a good opportunity. I wish I was a permanent resident so I can join again too, and learn so many great things. My other question to you is what are students going to learn from this program?
Right. So since our class is based on a certain curriculum, and it includes various modules. So each module will cover topics such as Canadian workplace culture, Canadian workplace communication, occupation health and safety, also preparing a resume and a cover letter, job search and interview skills, and much, much more. I can literally sit here and just list a lot of components of it. So.
Perfect. On to our next question. So when will the classes start and what will be the timing? Is it online or in person?
Right. So we're actually currently open for our spring term registration. So I'll give you a little overview of our spring 2021 term and how it's going to look and what kind of classes we're offering. So it's kind of broken down to 3 different English for Employment classes. First one is E4E intensive, and that class will be running online via Zoom. It starts already February 2nd and it runs all the way to March 25th. So it is an intense 8-week class, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. Then we have an option of E4E standard, which will be our evening class, which will start February 16th and will run all the way to May 13th. And the timings for that one is 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings. And finally, our E4E enhanced class will run on Saturdays, every Saturday starting February 13th, all the way to June 12th from 9 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. It will have a short break in between, so you don't have to sit for a whole 4.5 hours. So I'll just quickly tell you what's the difference in between those classes. First of all is in the CLB level. So E4E intensive will be mixed. Hopefully we'll have people anywhere from CLB 5 to CLB 8. Our standard one are for those who with lower CLBs, so CLB 5 to 6, and our enhanced will be for those with more advanced English level skills, CLB 6 to 8.
Okay, great. I think my mother will be happy to know that, because she was thinking like, oh, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will not work for her schedule, but now you do have classes on weekends too, so she can join.
Right.
Okay, thanks for sharing that information. I will ask you the two questions actually. So what is the deadline to register, and is there any fees for this course?
Right. So the deadline for our E4E intensive class, which is actually starting early February 2nd, the deadline for that class is next week, Friday, January 29th. And then the deadline for the two other classes, the standard and the enhanced, will be February 12th. Classes are at no cost. There is no actually fee. They're free. Just like I mentioned, they're offered based that we have funding from the provincial government.
Okay, great. Back to Anika.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So what are the benefits of these classes?
There are various benefits. The ones that I can list that really I think are very, very nice and important is that it's free. It's a free course, you know. You don't have, there is no fee attached to it. You don't have to worry about the cost of the class or cost of the study materials or anything like that. Second of all, the course is taught by our professional and qualified E4E instructors that have been with our organization for various years. Another benefit I would mention is the flexibility. It's online. You can take it from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go anywhere. As well as different schedules are there for you, depending if you know, on your work. So you can either have an evening class or a Saturday class. So I think that's definitely a benefit. Like I said, study materials are provided to the students. Upon completion of this course, you'll get a certificate that will be based on your attendance, of course. We do require our students to have at least 80% of attendance to get their certificates. There are also some additional certifications with the course for some classes, such as WMIS and Service Best. And I guess overall, it's a chance for you to meet new people from various backgrounds and hopefully make friends and make some connections. You will also make good connections with your teachers who can become your mentors and be, you know, your references later on, if you wish. And you also have an opportunity to connect with various agencies, because during our E4E classes, we invite guest speakers from other nonprofit organizations in Saskatoon to present on various topics of their expertise. So yeah, many. You'll gain confidence in presentations as you'll be doing your own, and hopefully meeting your English language and employment goals at the end, because that's the main objective.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Looks like a very condensed and like intensive course for English for employment, and I think that will be a good opportunity. I think I do have a question, but before that, is there any limit for the classes? Like,
right, that's a good question. So usually we have a limit of 16 people per class. So yeah, spots are limited. Therefore, there's a deadline for registration. Therefore, the sooner you register, the better. Can guarantee you a seat. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that information. So whoever is listening, make sure you know, like register on time. Otherwise, you will lose your seat because there are limited spots only. My next question for you, Oliana, is like, will a student get certificates for this course, and can they use these certificate for citizenship requirements?
So, like I mentioned before, those who completed successfully, meaning They'll be present for the 80%, at least 80% of the course out of 100. Unfortunately, this certificate cannot be used for the citizenship purposes just because this is not a regular English language class, such as Link, right? It is not really there to meet that need. It's specifically designed for the language and workplace support. So unfortunately, they won't be able to. If someone is looking to get English, to improve their English, or they need that as a proof for when they're applying their citizenship, I would recommend taking a Link class and finding out about that. There are various nonprofit organizations here in Saskatoon who offer Link classes online.
Okay, thank you. Back to Anika.
Yeah, I think that is all the questions we have, unless I'm missing anything. But those are some great information. And this is, I must say, this is a great program. And I know personally a lot of people who could highly benefit from this, people who are struggling to get employment just because of their English barrier. So this is a great program. And I really appreciate you guys for thinking of this and providing this, and especially for free. This is just amazing. So thank you so much. And any last words from you?
Yeah, so for those who are interested, you can contact me directly. You can call me or email. I know Rashid, he has our posters with the contact information, but I can provide you with my contact information right now as you're watching. So you can call me at 306-652-5850. My extension is 105. Or you can email me with your request at language.services@ucc.sk.ca.
Well, thank you, Oliana. And I think we already post that information on our Facebook page as well. So if you are looking for information, you can either search Ukrainian Canadian Congress Saskatchewan Facebook page, or you can find that information on Voice of Saskatoon as well. And the listeners who are listening, if they are not eligible for that program, they can even share that information to the other people who are eligible, and they feel that that important for other people too. Oliana, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, no, great. Thank you for having me. Just also want to mention that we have our official website as well. So maybe if someone wants to check it out and see what other things we have to offer. Like I mentioned, we have settlement services as well, and they're open to all newcomers. No, doesn't matter where you're coming from. And one thing that I really want to clarify, and I understand why people mistaking, is because the name of our organization is Ukrainian Canadian Congress. So a lot of people assume that we just serve Ukrainian people, you know, but no, all settlement services are open to all newcomers, as well as this program, the E4E program. So you can check us out at www.ucc.sk.ca to find out more about us. And once again, thank you for having me. It's really great. I just wanted to spread the word out there. You know, not everyone is aware of this program, and we try hard to promote it on social media. So this is a really good platform. And yeah, thank you again for, you know, taking your time to do this.
Well, thank you, Oliana, for your time. It was our pleasure. And we actually learned a lot about Ukrainian Canadian Congress organization. And I hope people will register for the program, because that is very beneficial. And again, it's free, so it's very helpful too. Anika, do you want to say anything before we?
No, it was a very good interview and lots to learn. Thank you so much for coming again. And I hope to all the viewers, you got some very good information that you can share or use. And yeah, so we'll be back again next week. And we have a great event coming up. We'll post all the details soon. Till then, take care. Have a good Thursday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday, so
yep.
Perfect.